From your introduction, I like your designation, emotional intelligence. How do you bring that into wedding planning? Let's start with that. I'm curious.
Okay, as an emotional intelligence coach, it's my ability to use what I know and how to manage people's emotions, relating it to the plan for the wedding and how what they want and how they want it is being managed properly, in the sense that they are aware of what they want. They know what they want. At times in events, there could be clash of interests. The designer knows how these things should go, how the design should be made, but the client wants a different thing. Your ability to manage those requirements or requests from your clients in a very emotionally balanced way makes you the king as a designer. So my place as an emotional intelligence coach, my knowledge of emotional intelligence has really helped me to manage my clients, making them feel comfortable with their requests. Because at times, clients can go overboard. There could be shouting, there could be excessive rantings. The ability to cool down and understand them, give them the assurance that everything will be fine without outbursts, really gives the designer a higher place and a higher regard. And that's where emotional intelligence comes in.
Interesting.
All right, so after doing all of that with the clients to ensure that, oh, we're on the same page, we'll talk, and then I know what it is that you want, what are the key considerations when planning the design for a reception? Because that's the most important part of the ceremony or of the event. That's where you have more guests.
The key considerations for designing an event are, firstly, you need to know what the client wants. What is their dream? What is the brief? We call it the brief. They tell you what they want, what the theme of the event is, how the event should go. They just pour out their hearts to you. And as a designer, I get all that details down. Secondly, you go to the venue. You check what the venue is like. We call that venue inspection. We need to know what lapses the venue have already, to know if the client's requests or desires can match up to the venue considerations at that time. After that, we look out for the details the client wants and look at how these details can be actualized. Are these really possible things? Because some clients sometimes want a drama kind of design, but your venue may not be able to accommodate that. Even the client's budget may not be able to accommodate that at times. So we look into that. Then we also look at how the design will come out at the end of the day. Will it really come out well? And by the time I check all these things, I'm able to communicate to the client, telling them, okay, your requirements or your needs can be done, and also this cannot be done. So it gives us a balance in delivering what is expected for the event.
Now, let's look at the catering aspect of the planning. How do you source for your food vendors? How do you know their capacity? How do you know they'll be able to deliver? And then how do you manage them in a way that you want them to work according to the plans that have been designed for that particular wedding?
Okay, for the catering aspect, getting vendors for catering, it's gotten by experience. We know that anything that has to get into the mouth in terms of food is a very delicate part of any event or any program. So we first do food tasting. We have a couple of caterers that have been tested over time. We do the food tasting part, then we are able to communicate to our clients. This caterer is very okay, this caterer is very good. Although, when you want to get premium, you may have to pay more for it. So that's very important in getting a good caterer. Also, we look at what the client wants. What is their menu? What does the client want in their menu? So we source for people that actually do these things, that are proficient in doing them, because some caterers are proficient in continental dishes, some are proficient in traditional dishes. So we don't just go out and give a traditional dish to a continental dish. It's not going to work. So we look out for the people that are well proficient, and we have a couple of them around our vicinities to get the right food, the right hygiene, and we take it up from there.
All right, taking it up from there, the serving style still in the catering aspect, what determines the serving style to use for a particular event? Some would say, oh, we want buffet, some would need servers and all of these things. How do you determine what is suitable for a particular event? Is it a guest list? What informs that?
Now, the service style for particular events depends. Most times, I wouldn't say exactly, but it depends on, number one, the clients actually, because they may want their guests to have a buffet, but the venue may not agree. That's the venue orientation. I mean, the arrangement of the venue. Why I'm saying this is, most times when we have a guest capacity of, say, 100, and the venue is supposed to accommodate 50, we already have the hall choked. So it's not easy for people to move from their seats to the buffet stand. At that point, we as the designers or event planners, we are trapped, and we want to do service, that's table service, using servers to serve the guests. So it's not about what the client wants ultimately. We as the designers, we have to look at what is going to work at that point. When we have less number of guests, the buffet service could work. But when the guest size expands more than necessary, because at times people want to accommodate a lot of people in their halls, we may need to have table service where the servers have to go around to serve unplated trays. So that's what happens most times.
I would like to have your take on this funny development where you see that couples will spend money, they'll spend a lot to ensure that they have a proper wedding and the guests are properly served. But you discover that the food wouldn't go around in some instances. What do you think, this has been a critical issue when it comes to wedding. People complain about this a lot. What do you think is likely responsible for this, and how can this be managed to ensure that you don't have chaos at the event?
Okay, well, we see this every time. I mean, except for very well coordinated guest lists. To curb this issue, I feel couples should probably engage themselves in using invitation, probably IVs, to get the number of guests they want. I mean, you don't want to bring in guests and everywhere is rowdy when the food time starts. So I would encourage couples to probably just do strictly by invitation, or they increase their budget on the food. That's the only way we can get through this issue of having more guests and less food for events.
The introduction of different menu now for events where you can have up to like 7 or more different types of food being served in an event. It makes it look classy and over. What challenge does it pose for the clients and even the vendors, those who are handling those services at the event? What would you advise?
Well, I get this, and I've seen this a couple of times. Yes, it looks classy to have different menu for the event, but it gives confusion to the guests at the end of the day, because most of this menu that is being provided, most of the food is not even provided in large quantity. They are just in small portions. From experience, I see that most clients just, is a form of show. They want people to know that they have some classy menu, and they give small money to the caterer to make or to prepare just small quantity. They just tell you, oh, it's for my VIP guests. But at the end of the day, that menu is shared to, the menu card is shared to everyone in the hall. In the end, we are expecting different kinds of food. But by the time the guests are asking, they will say the food is finished. So I just would encourage clients to just provide what you can. I mean, celebrations are just for memories, for beautiful experiences. Don't go overboard. Just do what you can. Make sure that the menu you provide is just going to be enough for your number of guests, so we don't have this confusing situation and uproar in the hall about certain food and people talking, I didn't get this to eat, I didn't get that to eat. And I'm sure when they do that, just work within what they could afford, it will be fine.
I'd like you to talk to us about some of the common challenges being faced by event planners in Nigeria when it comes to wedding. Some of the common challenges, from your own experience and the references you've had from your colleagues. What are some of these common challenges?
Okay, the challenges event planners face in Nigeria especially are numerous. First, we have the challenge of clients' expectation with little budget. It's a global space, and our clients see different designs from all over the world. But the truth is, the Nigerian economy is not helping out with giving most of our clients. I mean, 80% of the clients don't even have the money that is needed to unravel these designs. At the end of the day, they are meeting an event planner, telling the event planner to go get designers or vendors that can bring out their dream event. But these vendors are incapacitated because their budget is not enough to showcase what the client wants. So I would say that clients' budget and expectations could be one challenge. The second challenge we're having is for event planners. Well, event planning is about coordinating and planning the whole event. But the truth is, an event planner and an event designer they are all connected or connected to the vendors. We have an issue of sourcing in materials. It's really difficult now to import materials, especially for the designers. You would see beautiful flowers, beautiful accessories, but the exchange rates have really affected us. The clearing, shipping has really affected the event business. Well, I could say that other things that could affect the event planners are also the venue. Most times the venue owners are not friendly to event planners in terms of allowing event planners go about their jobs. At times, we have the venue tell event designers, you have to come in a day to the event for designs that should take 2 days or even 3 days at times. At the end of the day, you see that it's becomes so choking for the event designers to even finish up their designs and even allow their staff to rest after a design work. So these and some others, I think, are most of the challenges event planners face in Nigeria.